How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL video. And today we're going to be looking at the best captaincy picks for Game Week 4. If you haven't done so already, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We have videos going out daily throughout the FPL season, except for Sundays where we do our gaming videos. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below as to who you're considering captaining this coming game week. Also, make sure to turn that notification bell on and give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. It's PilotFlame226 on those platforms. We'll be doing another deadline stream over on Twitch for Game Week 4, 1 hour before the deadline, which is 5 a.m. EDT. We also do our preview shows on Monday, and if you haven't checked that out, the VOD is up from Monday's stream here on YouTube. And we always post it immediately after. We swapped it to Mondays. Typically, we did it Friday, the preview show, and then Saturday, the deadline. But I kind of wanted to get more of an instant reaction of the game week, especially when games were ending on Mondays. All the games are on Saturday and Sunday this week, which makes it perfect to give a little bit of a day of reflection as well, so we can check that out. After all the games have been done. It also makes things a little bit easier because then you can see the full game week rather than coming in on a Monday and maybe some of the games are just finishing up and you maybe have not had time to kind of take a look at them. But yeah, let's get on to the captains. Let's see who are the 5 captains that I have on my watch list for this coming game week. So the first captain we have on our list here is none other than Mohamed Salah. He's away to Aston Villa, which is an FDR rating of 2, the best possible rating you can have. I have never seen a 1 before, but I think 2 is the best rating you can have. He's got 28 points this season, 3 goals, 1 assist, 3 goals he picked up in game week 1, the 1 assist he picked up in the last game week, and he scored a total of 5 points in game week 3. He has 39.0% ownership at the time of recording, and I think he's definitely going to be on a lot of people's radars, him or KDB. I think both of these two have favorable fixtures. However, they're both away from home, and typically Mane is the better player away from home and Liverpool's front 3, and Kevin De Bruyne is typically kind of shadowed by Raheem Sterling in the away fixtures. He does more damage at home, typically, is what the stats have shown. However, Salah does shoot quite a lot. He's in double digits for shots inside the box as well as total shots, and is going to be peppering the goal non-stop. His non-penalty XG is quite low. It's not even up to half a goal. It's just not great overall. However, he does shoot a lot, which is something that Martinez in goal for Aston Villa is going to quite like. However, I think that he's someone that will eventually just, when he's on, he's on. And then game week 1 definitely showed that. Got 2 penalties, put them in the back of the net, got one chance in the game, blasted into the top corner. And I think he was definitely unlucky in the Arsenal game to potentially not get something. But I think overall Salah is probably going to be one of the front runners for the captaincy choice this game week. And then our next player we have on our list is Raheem Sterling. He has a fixture with an FDR rating of 2 versus Leeds away from home. He has 7 points this season with just the 1 assist registered to his name in the 2 games that he's played. He's only 6.2% owned, and he had a game week score from game week 3 of 2 points. Now, the reason I've highlighted Raheem Sterling here is because, yes, him and Kevin De Bruyne have the same fixture. However, he did get a brace in the Carabao Cup game where they won 3-0 over Burnley. He had quite a few chances in the beginning of the game where he, missed and kind of squandered and could have potentially got even more than 2 goals, tonight. However, I think that he's someone who excels away from home, and a lot of his holes came from away from home. He's only had 4 shots total this season in the 2 games that he's played, only 2 that have been on target, and his XGI is around 0.5, which is not great overall. That's basically means he's getting a goal or an assist every, every other game, basically, which isn't fantastic. However, I do think that he's going to catch form. He's going to hit a period of form where he's going to be extremely good. He's always in and around the box, getting involved. And I think he kind of has to play. Pep's been experimenting with, some of the youngsters as a number 9. And we saw in the Carabao Cup, Burnley played more or less the best team that they possibly could. Sterling played out wide on one of the flanks, and they had one of the youngsters through the middle, spacing out on his name. He wore number 80. But yeah, Sterling was coming in off the wing. Same with Ferran Torres. They looked great. They were able to get the support from Mahrez as well, who was kind of floating in and around. And I think that he's definitely going to excel when he plays out on the wing, making those darting runs. Because if he's not doing it, he's playing the false nine role. City look a lot worse, and they showed that in their previous game versus Leicester. So I think Sterling could be an outside shot for the captain. I definitely think that KDB is still second in line to Mohamed Salah this game week. The next player we have on our list is last season's Golden Boot winner Jamie Vardy, who currently sits at 10 million in the forward slot. He has an FDR rating of 2 versus West Ham at home this game week. He's got 32 points this season, 5 goals, 4 of them are penalties. He's 22.8% owned at the time of recording, and last week he scored 17 points. Jamie Vardy just can't stop missing, and typically from the penalty spot he's quite good. He scored 4 out of his 5 goals from the penalty spot. He's had 1 shot that hasn't been, or 2 shots that haven't been penalties, that have been one has been on target, one's been off target. And I just think that his numbers look great. He's got 5 goals, he's got 17 points last week, hat trick. He is flagged with a potential slight injury, but he said that was fine. That happens every now and again. He just kind of runs it off, and it's nothing to be worried about. But it's his open play that's kind of concerning. So in the City game, he only had 10 touches total in the entire game, which is a bit concerning, but he did score a hat-trick. Again, in the first game of the season, he scored a brace, and he had 0 XG, which means that he had no chance of scoring a goal from open play, basically. His non-penalty XG was literally 0. He had no shots to potentially score him a goal that weren't penalties. So if Vardy keeps putting penalties away, which seems like it's the season of penalties, I think that's going to work out in our favor. Is he a good shout for the captaincy this week? I think so. I think West Ham, they did, put up quite a brave performance versus Wolves. But then again, the next game week, they could be, getting battered by Leicester. It just all depends. They're pretty inconsistent. We saw that when they played against Newcastle, they made Newcastle look like they were, the next best thing. And then they go on and, are inconsistent and get pretty dominated by Brighton. So I think it could be a consistency thing with West Ham. And they seem to do better when David Moyes isn't actually on the touchline. But I think that Vardy is a good shout. I think he'll definitely get more touches. He'll be more involved in this game. They may even get a penalty. And Jamie Vardy's probably going to score it. But if there's any concern that I have, is that his open play XG is, just over 0.5, which means every other game he's scoring an open play goal or getting an assist, which, isn't great overall. But I think that he's looking quite good. And he's, raring to go, always getting involved, even when the chips are down and he's, not getting many touches on the ball. He always finds a way from minute 0 to minute 90 and even past the 90th minute sometimes to always be that threat that can score in any fixture whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's Man City, doesn't matter if it's Fulham, it's any team from top to bottom. He's always going to make himself look dangerous. So I think Vardy, if you have him this week, is a very good shout for the captaincy this week. The fourth captaincy shout that I have this week is Bruno Fernandes. Now, there's also, kind of half and half. Rashford could also be on this list as well. I've gone with Bruno Fernandes because Mourinho's been kind of chatting a lot and saying, oh, Manchester United have a slightly bigger penalty box to get penalties and all that sort of stuff. Well, this is the guy that's going to be putting him in the back of the net. He has an FDR rating of 3 versus Tottenham at home this coming game week. He has a total of 14 points, 1 goal, 1 assist, just shy of 21% ownership, so it's at 10.5 million. And he scored 12 of his 14 points in game week 3 gone. He got a penalty and an assist after Manchester United put in a dreadful performance, but somehow they managed to win. But Bruno Fernandes, scores when it counts, creates when it counts. His assist was fantastic with the help of Marcus Rashford, kind of sitting down a few defenders, and then scored the penalty right after the whistle was blown, because even though the whistle was blown and the game was over, VAR can still intervene because the handball did happen before the whistle was blown. So therefore, Bruno Fernandes steps up and does what he does best, which is put the ball in the back of the net. His expected goal involvement is close to 1.5 goals or assists, per game, which is quite good. Obviously, he's had 2 games. He's had 1 goal, 1 assist, so pretty good overall. He's created quite a few chances. I think that he's, one of these players that can create anything on his day. Even if he's having a bad game, he can have that one magical, ball over the top or one through ball in line. And he's created 11 chances so far. And I think that's only going to continue as Manchester United start to ramp up. They haven't shown their best. They showed a little bit of improvement in the Carabao Cup today versus Brighton in their 3-0 win. Bruno Fernandes didn't play in that, but Marcus Rashford came on, looked good. Paul Pogba scored a free kick that was heavily deflected, but again, still looking good. Donny van der Beek continues to impress. And I think overall, from open play, Bruno Fernandes isn't, quite there yet. He has a negative expected, goals that are, not penalties. However, I think that he's going to provide the goods. He likes a long range shot. He's going to get more inside the box when I think Donny van der Beek plays alongside him. And I think that those two would gel quite well, especially with the likes of Martial, who has yet to hit the ground running. So I think Fernandes is a very good captaincy shout this week. And don't be surprised if Mourinho gets a little bit angry when United win a penalty and Bruno Fernandes sticks it in the back of the net this game week. And the last differential captain, if you want to call it that, this game week is Danny Ings. He currently sits at 8.4 million. He has an FDR rating of 2 versus West Brom at home, who concede so many big chances. I believe they conceded 11 total in the first 3 games they played. He's got 22 points this season with 3 goals, 2 of which coming in game week 2, 1 of them coming in the last game week where he scored 9 points. He has no assists, unfortunately, even though he's created a couple of chances, and his own percentage is just under 20%. I think Danny Ings is a very, very good finisher. He seems to have, gotten rid of, the whole injury woes he had at Liverpool, and he's proving to be quite the, clinical finisher, staying fit, staying active, almost Jamie Vardy-esque. He's always involved throughout the entire game. If you give him half a chance, he'll make sure to stick it in the back of the net. He scored 3 goals this season, 1 of which is a penalty, and his XG is somewhere around like the 1.3-ish mark. And, if he has 3 goals, then he shows he's definitely overperforming in that stat. He's had 6 shots, 6 of which have been inside the box. 1 of those was his penalty, and 5 have been on target. So he is very accurate when he goes to take a shot. Linking up with Che Adams, his goal in game week 3 was very good to watch. The only goal actually in the game. And I think that against West Brom, who do concede chances and will concede quite often in terms of players that link up well or people that are, kind of fast on the break, I think that Danny Ings is definitely good enough to exploit that. He's an outside captaincy shout if you have him this week. He is going against a team that is potentially looking very, very suspect in terms of conceding chances. And I would not be surprised if potentially I could bring him in and put the captaincy on him this coming game week. And that's going to do it for this week's best captaincy options for Game Week 4. If you haven't done so already, make sure to smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And let me know down in the comments who you're going to be captaining this week, and vice captaining too. You got to make sure that those are important in case a player gets left out or potentially misses the game due to an unknown injury. Also, make sure to turn those notification bells on and give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. Twitter, we post our weekly bulletins as to what videos are going to be coming out for the week. We do a gaming video on Sundays, the preview stream on Mondays, which the VOD then goes up that night on Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all FPL videos, and then Saturdays we do our deadline stream with the VOD going up that same day as well, which we will be doing another deadline stream this week, 5 a.m. EDT, 1 hour before the deadline, whatever your time zone is. Also, I'm going to put a link in the description below to my kind of XG / attacking output table in the Fantasy Scout members area. Make sure to go check that out. I'll have a link in the description below. That's kind of where I get my stats. So I'm kind of checking out who my captaincy or biggest threats could be for the captaincy option this game week. So thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.